Today's episode is going to be intense. We're diving into the story of Mamta, a young woman whose life was tragically cut short, and the shocking case surrounding her disappearance. This isn't an easy story to hear. It's heartbreaking, disturbing, and incredibly complex, but it's a story that deserves to be told. So, if you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to Crime to Sleep. The state of Virginia sits right on the Atlantic coast in the eastern part of the United States. And if you head up into the northeast of the state, there's a city called Manassas, a place of about 40,000 people. Manassas isn't just any small city. It's home to a vibrant Nepali community. And it's in this very community that today's story unfolds. Our story centers around Mamta Kafle Bhatt, 28, who was more than just a nurse. She was kind, full of life, and confident. We don't know a whole lot about her early childhood, but what we do know is that Mamta grew up in a close, loving family back in Nepal. Her parents, Geeta and Kamal, and her brother Mahesh, were protective of her and gave her a strong foundation. From early on, she was determined to succeed, working hard in school, always earning excellent grades. When it came to her education, she pushed herself even further. She eventually moved to Bangalore, India, where she studied nursing, and then again after moving to the US. And honestly, nursing was the perfect fit for her. Only was she intelligent, but she was also deeply nurturing and kind. But life wasn't just about her career. She also found love. Her husband, Naresh Bhatt, was also a Nepali, 5 years older than her. Naresh was born in Mahendranagar, Nepal, but later moved to the US. He graduated from a military academy and served in the US Army Reserve as a logistics technician. And at one point, he even tried to become a police recruit. That only lasted 22 days before he was disqualified for not meeting the requirements. After dating for some time, they tied the knot in December 2020, and in July 2021, she moved to the US to be with him. Mamta didn't move in with Naresh right away because he was in the service. Instead, she lived with a roommate named Nadia, and Nadia, as it turns out, was one of the first people to really see what Naresh was like behind closed doors. Even though he wasn't living with them, Naresh was extremely controlling. He didn't allow Mamta to have her own cell phone, and he wouldn't let her leave the house for longer than 5 minutes. In many abusive relationships, victims often make excuses for their abuser, and that was the case here. Mamta downplayed what was happening. To outsiders, it didn't look like much was wrong. Even her family back in Nepal had no idea the extent of what she was going through. She'd call her mom on Facebook video twice a day, every day. And from their perspective, everything seemed fine. Just normal couple disagreements here and there. And from the outside, things looked great. They lived in a beautiful home on a cul-de-sac in Manassas Park, Virginia. Mamta was working hard on getting her nursing license in the US, landed a job at Innova Fairfax Hospital, and eventually transferred to become a pediatric nurse at UVA Health Prince William Medical Center. She was well-liked, respected, known for her bedside manner. She cared for patients, supported coworkers, even brought food for others on busy days. The couple's happiness grew even more when Mamta gave birth to their daughter, Nima, in August 2023. Mamta's mom had planned to fly out to help after the baby was born, but instead, it was Naresh's mother who came to stay. And this made things harder. His family followed more traditional religious practices, and his mother was described as strict and honestly cruel. She forced Mamta to follow a tradition called Chaupati, an ancient menstrual taboo in Nepal, where women are considered impure during their periods. She would make Mamta sleep in a separate part of the house during that time. Even after childbirth, Naresh's mother reportedly refused to help care for her or the baby. And worse, it's been alleged that she physically abused her too. Sadly, this was something Naresh himself was also doing. Despite the happy face Mamta showed online, the reality at home was getting darker. But Mamta did do something. She wasn't just sitting by while all of this abuse continued. At one point, she finally packed up her things, grabbed her daughter, and went to stay with a close friend. She stayed there about a week, but the reality was she had no independence, no car, no money, no phone, nothing. Naresh had made sure of that. That friend stepped in. They put Mamta on their family phone plan, so she finally had a way to connect. They also helped set her up with Uber, because that had always been her main form of transportation. It was the only way she could get to work, and keeping that job was everything to her, especially since Naresh controlled all the finances. After that week, Mamta stayed with another Nepali family for about 8 to 10 days. And here's where things shifted. She started opening up. She began to actually talk about the abuse. She even joined a Facebook group for separated, divorced, and single moms in the area. And she posted in it, one of her posts said, "Hi, I have a 6-month-old baby, and I'm in the process of separation. I work 2 days a week, and my husband is not helping to take care of the baby. He is saying that if I leave the baby with him, he will send child to custody. Is it possible? I need help for childcare. I need help from a social worker and need some advice." In another response to someone, she admitted that they were living together, but that she had no money because he had withdrawn all the money from their joint account. She was reaching out for help, but even after all that, she ended up telling friends that she and Naresh were going to counseling, that they were trying to work it out, but it's strongly believed that the abuse never stopped. On August 1st, 2024, Mamta missed something very important: her final appointment with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. This was the last step to officially becoming a U.S. citizen, and friends and family knew Mamta would never miss that on her own. At the same time, her co-workers at the hospital grew worried too. Mamta was the kind of person who was always punctual, always reliable. But suddenly, she wasn't showing up to work. She wasn't answering her phone. She wasn't even replying to messages. That's when her workplace finally called the police and asked them to perform a welfare check. On Wednesday, August 2nd, 2 officers with the Manassas Park Police Department were called to the Bhatt residence. Why? Because Mamta hadn't shown up for work that day or the day before. She had only been at this new job for a few weeks, but in that short time, she had made such an impression that her coworkers knew immediately something was wrong.
Hello, sir. How are you? I'm Officer at Team Manassas Park Police. We're looking for Miss Mamta Kafle.
Yeah, we see like on Tuesday, Wednesday, she left and then she says she's gonna go either New York or Texas, and then she left she had the phone and then she destroyed that phone and then she left.
So she destroyed the phone and she left. She said she was going to New York.
Yeah, her sister, one of her sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other contact information?
Yeah, I like she has a different 3 phones. I do have like 2 phone numbers. One phone number somebody other receiving, one another for contact number for the New York I do have.
Okay, can you show me that, please? Can you
Can we
have
get
that
those
info?
numbers? Can we get those phone numbers from you?
Yeah, we just want to see if she's okay because we have an employer calling to
Hi.
check. Hi. Did she say why she left?
Yeah, because we are about to separate and then the home inspection come here to I'm about to sell the home. So she wanna say like, okay, I wanna go with my sisters, and then she used to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
And then sometimes I don't know where you can come inside or I can come outside.
It's up to you, sir.
Up to you, sir. Yeah.
And she used to live in a Falls Church. I don't know the exact address. I know the building because I noticed there because I saw her email, and then one place over there, and then I don't know somewhere in Manassas because on the 8th I think like on the 8th she started a job.
Last month?
No. Yeah, last month. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 8th, so I'm not working since that. She say like she gonna be stay there, and then once she gonna be everything settled down, she will take the baby. She not gonna leave the baby with me. That's what she said. I know the building in Falls Church where she was. Still, she's living over there or Texas because I already conversation with her sister. She just did not reply me, and then she was asking me, and then her mom And then her mom is also asking for me. I don't know where is she.
Okay. So if you could give us the phone numbers, please. We want to see if we can make contact with her.
This is not the first time. Multiple times she go and then come back in few days.
Okay.
I don't have the phone number for her sister. You know, usually I have a Facebook, but like I don't have her phone number.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So, you know, like that's what, you know, I replied like 2/23. Usually she works Thursday to Saturday. She works there. And then, you know, like it's not like first time she disappear and then come back. I live with my parents over there. She say like, okay, I'm not gonna live with your parents. My parents left back home. And then, you know, still a lot of she going. She got the green card already, and then she was about to, you know, like, yeah.
Okay. When she left, was she? Did you say anything about like, hurting herself or anything concerning?
No, because, you know, if
Everything's
it's the
going-
first time, then, you know, like I can say, oh, okay, where are you going, this and that. This is like, you know, multiple times. I don't know, like, you know, who called you, but like, you know, sometimes she came back.
The officers didn't immediately see anything unusual. Security footage from the neighborhood didn't reveal much either. Naresh also mentioned that this wasn't the first time Mamta had suddenly disappeared, that she had gone missing 3 times before and always came back after a few days. They even chatted casually with him. He invited them inside, and they didn't go in. They didn't check the house. Instead, they just swapped information, told him to call if she came back, and left.
Okay. Well, if she does end up missing, just call us back. Again, it'll be a good idea to contact people that you know that knows her. You have my number. Just you can shoot me a text if you want. Just
Sure,
give me.
sure.
Let me know if she comes back.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Thank
Until
you, sir.
Sunday, I don't think so. So, you know, hopefully she will be back by Sunday. If not,
You're talking about this after tomorrow? Is
Yeah.
that what you mean? Okay.
yeah, this Sunday, because, you know, she worked like maybe it's Saturday night, because she worked like, oh no, because she's not at work now.
Right.
Because before this 8th, she used to work in another hospital. And then maybe she applied somewhere else and then trying to do that one as well. I need to figure that out, you know,
Right.
because she used to work at the Ainova hospital and then she switched over there. And if she want to try to move somewhere, if she applied somewhere, I don't know how to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll give the employer a call and just
Yeah.
read
Either New York,
the
either
info,
Texas.
Okay? What? You said Texas?
Either New York, either Texas.
Oh, either New York or Texas. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. All right.
After those officers left, it took 2 more days before Naresh even reported Mamta missing. And the only reason he did it at all was because her family back in Nepal, especially her brother, begged him to. They knew in their gut that something was very, very wrong. You've got to remember, Mamta and her mom spoke on the phone twice a day, almost every day. Suddenly, all of that stopped. No calls, no texts, just silence. It wasn't until the next day, August 5th, that an official missing persons report was filed. It was clear this wasn't just a case of someone walking away. Something had happened to her. And when word started to spread, the Manassas Park community rallied quickly. The Nepali American community especially made sure her voice was heard. They organized rallies, showed up at vigils, and shared her story online. Because remember, Mamta's family couldn't be there yet. They were still back in Nepal, desperately trying to get answers. And here's the kicker. While all these people were out searching, Naresh was nowhere to be found. On August 12th, a reporter asked him about his wife's disappearance.
Sharing with us just some words about, helping you out to find her, share flyers, anything like that?
What do you mean?
Just like, obviously your wife is missing, and I'm sure you're worried about it, and to kind of get the community to, if they see her, to give a call, anything like that. Would you be ready to share some words with us?
Yeah, either call to the police or like any of our family or friends.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Could you tell me that maybe just on the mic, just to say reach out, please help us out. I'm sure you're probably really concerned after all these days. It's been 13 days, and I know you have a little baby daughter.
Yeah. So should I I don't know, should I authorize to come on the media or not? I need to ask something and then I can come back on the media.
Oh, so you don't want to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I did not ask them.
Oh,
So I need
okay.
to ask them. So I'm not authorized or I'm authorized.
I mean, I think it's up to you whether you want to get the word out.
No, of course, I'm gonna, ask.
You want to ask police?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, for context, he worked in IT for the government and supposedly had some kind of special security clearance. But even with that, come on, it didn't sit right with anyone. Not the public, not investigators, and certainly not Mamta's family back in Nepal, who were already watching things unravel from thousands of miles away. And the most notable interview came just 2 days later, on August 14th. A reporter asked him about what had been happening in the days and weeks leading up to Mamta's disappearance.
About your wife, what has been going on the last couple days, weeks?
Yeah, it's been very terrible time, we are just, my baby and then myself, we are just waiting every minute and second, just waiting to get the, I don't know how to explain.
How are you doing?
I don't know. I'm frustrating, yeah.
How long have you guys been married? 3 years, you said?
Plus.
Talk to me about your relationship, the last couple of months, how have you guys been?
Yeah, it's been very good, since few months, before that, one time we have some arguments because, yeah.
Do you want to grab her?
Yeah, can you hold her?
Yeah, of course. Hi.
So I don't want to put her on the camera.
In line of events, obviously there's been a little bit of discrepancy in the day you last saw her. Talk to me about the last time you saw her.
In the evening of the Wednesday, we were here and then we ate together. Yes.
What did she say? What was she like? Did she...
We don't have any type of that. It was normal day, other regular days. Just we were taking care of our babies. It was very normal.
Did she say anything about leaving?
No.
So how did you realize that she was missing?
She wasn't affair at her work, and then she is very focused on her work, and then once we know she is not at work, then that makes very serious to me, and that's how I don't know what I supposed to say.
When was the last time you saw her?
A Wednesday in the evening.
Okay, and then what happened after that? Did she leave? Did you leave?
No, just she was working on the kitchen, after eating dishes and then stuff like that. I just went upstairs with my baby.
Okay, and you went to sleep, or?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened next? When was she supposed to go to work that night?
Yeah, we work early in the morning. Yeah, about 5:30, around 6, we supposed to leave from the home.
But she left the night before.
No, Thursday supposed to she at work. On Thursday she's supposed to at work.
So Wednesday night though,
Yeah.
what happened there? You went to sleep. Where was she?
Oh, so she was working in the kitchen, and then right there, usually if I have to work, I go there, and then sometimes in the morning we do not disturb because of the baby, who is not working, we do not disturb to another person. So keep taking care of the baby, and then slightly left the home and then go for work. That's what the regular schedule is.
So she never came to sleep though.
Yes, he came. I heard noise, something like that. She came. She was here doing dishes and then stuff like that. I heard that. Some type of noise, but you don't pay much attention like that, because that is the regular schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't normally sleep together at night?
Oh, we do sometimes. If we have work, sometimes if we feel more relaxed, we go there is two separate areas.
Gotcha, okay.
And then sometimes one sleep on the floor, and then sometimes another person sleep on the bed. Usually we do not want to disturb our baby. That's why we try to minimize our noise, stuff like that.
Okay, but here's the thing. That's clearly not the same story he told officers in the body cam footage. Remember that footage? He was saying he knew that Mamta was leaving, right? He did the whole Texas to New York story, but now, suddenly, he's switching it up. Now he's saying, oh, we had dinner together on the 31st. Everything was fine. She just didn't show up for work the next day. Nothing about her smashing her phone, nothing about her going to see her sister. All of that just vanished. And I mean, come on, you probably caught it too in this new interview. He's saying their relationship was good. Meanwhile, he was telling people before that they were in the process of separating. But what probably pissed off the community and Mamta's family the most was when he had the audacity to claim that he was the one suffering the most.
You mentioned to me on the phone that you're the one suffering tonight. You mentioned...
Yeah, I'm the sufferer one. I'm the sufferer. My baby and then myself, like we are suffering the most.
What do you say to her if she's watching this right now?
If she is watching, come back, whatever is the issue, like we can fix it. Please.
Did you guys have any sort of fight before?
No.
Then came August 20th, 2024. It was Nima's very first birthday. And despite everything going on, despite his wife still missing, Naresh decided to throw a birthday party at their house. Friends, co-workers, people came by. The house was decorated beautifully. But here's the weird part. He absolutely forbade anyone from taking photos. Guests later described the whole atmosphere as strange, tense, uncomfortable. Imagine it. The mother of this child is still missing, and yet the father is hosting a party like everything is normal. And for Mamta's loved ones, this was a breaking point. They knew she adored her daughter. She would never, ever miss such an important milestone. One of her old teachers told the police that she remembered earlier, back in February 2024, Mamta came to work with visible injuries on her face. When asked about it, Mamta admitted she and Naresh had been having problems and were even trying a separation. The teacher urged her to leave, offered her a safe place to stay, even suggested government resources, but Mamta refused. She said she wanted to try counseling. She wanted to give him another chance. She loved him, and she hoped he could change. A few days after Mamta went missing, something unusual came to light. She had actually reached out to a local support group for single mothers, and in one of her messages, she wrote something really concerning. She said, "If I leave my daughter with him, he'll send her to foster care. Can that really happen?" Behind closed doors, their marriage had been broken for a long time. Suspicion toward Naresh only grew stronger, and soon police got a warrant to search his house. On Wednesday, August 21st, investigators showed up at the Bhatt's residence with a search warrant, and what they found told them everything they needed to know. Right away, detectives could tell Naresh was preparing to leave. Packed suitcases, clothes missing from hangers, his passport and his daughter's passport sitting out in plain view. That same night, a press conference was held by Police Chief Mario Lugo, and while he didn't give away much, it was short, barely a minute long. He did confirm one huge detail.
The search warrant is going to take another 3 to 4 hours to complete. When I get the information, I will provide that.
Do you have a person of interest, Jay?
He is a person of interest.
The husband?
Yes.
Husband's person of interest.
He's been a point of interest, and everybody knows that.
The very next day, on August 22nd, 37-year-old Naresh Bhatt was officially arrested and charged with concealment of a dead body in connection with his wife's disappearance. That same afternoon, a press briefing was held. Couldn't share exactly what they found inside the house, but what they did say was enough to crush hearts, and they no longer believed Mamta was alive. And for her family in Nepal, even worse, they were still overseas at this point, but emergency visas were being fast-tracked so they could come to the US and take care of her little daughter. Her daughter, by the way, had already been placed into social services custody. The very next day, on Friday, August 23rd, Naresh showed up in court. He was arraigned on a single felony charge, concealment of a dead body. While he wasn't officially charged with murder at that point, prosecutors didn't hold back. They made it clear they believed Mamta was dead, and they believed Naresh was responsible. And this is where things start to get really complicated, because we start to see just how inconsistent his story was. Naresh had been telling everyone that the last time he saw Mamta was the night of July 31st. In another interview, he said he last saw her on the morning of August 1st, after she supposedly left for work. Basically the same story he gave to the reporter, but the police don't buy it. They believe the real time frame when Mamta lost her life was actually somewhere between July 29th and July 30th. Here's where it starts getting messy. Her phone was actually still pinging until August 1st, which, if you remember, is after Naresh claimed she'd destroyed it. The last ping came from near a body of water in Loudoun County, and Naresh admitted to being at a cafe in Loudoun County around that exact time. On August 19th, he sold his Tesla 2 days before the search warrant was executed. And if you know anything about Teslas, they're basically rolling computers packed with data. That sale, super suspicious. He was also trying to sell the house. We knew he mentioned that in the body cam footage, but at this point, the public didn't know yet. Naresh hired a public defender because he claimed he couldn't afford his own lawyer, and the defense basically argued the opposite of everything the prosecutors said. They claimed the blood in the house was just a nosebleed's worth, and without a body, they couldn't prove he concealed anything. I mean, yeah, sure, if you ignore literally all the forensic evidence, maybe. The following day, her supporters gathered again for an evening of prayer and reflection. This particular gathering was at Signal Hill Park, a place very close to Mamta's heart, just down the road from her home. She often went there with her daughter, so it was a way to honor her and feel connected to her memory. Jumping forward a few days, Naresh's bond hearing happened on Monday, August 26, 2024, and oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here. Because it was a bond hearing, both prosecution and defense took turns arguing why he should or shouldn't be granted bail. The prosecution was quick to say he was a flight risk and a danger to society, pointing out all of the strange and suspicious things he did after Mamta went missing. His attorney defended actions like selling his Tesla and attempting to sell the house. The prosecution framed it as either destroying evidence or prepping to flee. But the defense said, nope, he's just broke. He needed the money to care for his daughter. They also argued it wouldn't make sense for him to flee to Nepal because of extradition treaties, meaning he'd just be sent right back to the US. On the flip side, the prosecution dropped some major revelations. On August 6th, Naresh told police that Mamta's documents were missing, including her green card, but prosecutors knew it had actually been missing since June, so that excuse didn't hold up. Naresh also claimed he was trying to send his daughter back to Nepal, which was odd because he said he needed to sell his car and home to care for her. And here's a big one. Remember how he said Mamta went to Texas or New York to visit her sister? Turns out she has no sister in the US. That story, totally false. Investigators also found nearly empty bottles of cleaning solutions he bought from Walmart. Makes sense, considering the carpet looked scrubbed. He also bought little tree-shaped air fresheners. Guess what he was trying to cover up? Yeah, we can all imagine. Now, this one's creepy as hell. The US Secret Service had been monitoring Naresh's government-issued work laptop, and back in April, he Googled things like, how long does it take to get married after a spouse dies? What happens to a deceased spouse? Keep in mind, this was 3 months before Mamta went missing. Folks, that screams premeditation. Luckily, the judge denied his bond. By this point, Mamta's mother and brother had emergency visas and were on their way to Virginia. Her mom, Geeta, gave an emotional statement about her daughter.
My daughter was a very hardworking, very sincere person, very honest person.
Geeta Kafle fought back tears as she spoke about her daughter, Mamta Kafle Bhatt.
So I would talk to her every day, once or twice.
Her son and Mamta's brother, Mahesh Kafle, by her side Monday night as she shared how she last spoke with her daughter on July 29th.
She would always talk to me only about good things.
We even don't imagine about the things that happen.
Her brother Mahesh and her mother in the U.S. from Nepal on an emergency visa, now caring for Mamta's 1-year-old daughter.
I'd like to say thank you to everybody. So all the people here in the U.S. has really, really helped me. This Mamta might get justice because of that. My heart is hurt because she was a person who was very hardworking, very beautiful, very honest. She aspired to be somebody great. She worked really hard for it, and she could be. I don't know what to say every time because I can never forget her, but whenever I think about it, I have my heartache.
The day after the bond hearing, police went back to the house for another search. The next day, There was a massive search at Signal Hill Park, and investigators reportedly found potential evidence. And while all this was going on, her mom and brother finally arrived in the U.S. On September 13th, Naresh was back in court for a hearing on a Brady motion. This basically means the prosecution has to turn over any evidence favorable to the accused. The defense argued that the prosecution had surveillance footage from a few days before Mamta disappeared, which could show someone else connected to her disappearance. Here's what they found. On July 27th, outside her workplace, Mamta was seen with a friend. Around 8:17 p.m., she got into a black four-door sedan. Remember, Uber was normally her main transportation, but she canceled her Uber ride at that exact time. The defense argued that this car might be connected to her disappearance, which is why they wanted the footage handed over. So here's the deal with that surveillance footage from July 27th. Yes, Mamta was last seen on the 27th getting into a car, but we know she had contact with people until the 29th. Nobody has come forward to say they drove her that night. The defense argued that this mystery driver either helped Mamta escape or was responsible for her disappearance. All right, so based on the evidence I'm about to share with you, all of this information comes directly from a series of search warrants, and prosecutors laid it all out by walking through an updated timeline of events. July 24th, Mamta confides in a childhood friend about her troubled marriage, showing early signs that something was wrong. July 27th, she is last seen leaving work. This is the last confirmed public sighting of her. July 28th, Naresh spends most of the day in Baltimore. Meanwhile, Mamta is home. At 6:05 p.m., she sends a Facebook message to someone she had purchased jewelry from. Later, at 8:25 and 8:58 p.m., she attempts to call Naresh but seems unable to reach him. Naresh returns home at around 12:29 a.m. July 29th, Naresh and Mamta are mostly home. At 8:30 p.m., she has a 14-minute Facebook video call with her mom. Her mom notices a gloomy expression she had never seen before. This is the last time Mamta is known to be seen alive. July 30th, 4:13 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., Naresh Googles diagram of a brain and chicken farm near me. Odd, seemingly random searches. 5:30 a.m., Naresh texts the babysitter to drop off the daughter sometime after 8:30 a.m., but he drops her off at 6:30 a.m. instead. 6:44 a.m., surveillance captures him disposing of trash bags in a dumpster near the babysitter's apartment complex, which isn't even near the actual unit. 8:12 a.m., Naresh goes to Home Depot, buys 2 pairs of rubber gloves. 8:41 a.m., captured at Walmart buying a 3-pack of knives. And get this, 2 of those knives have still never been found. He then heads home and uses a whopping 150 gallons of water between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. That's like 50 times more than normal. And then, between 1 and 2 p.m., license plate readers pick him up driving around Fairfax. Investigators believe he was disposing of more bags in dumpsters. And around 2 p.m., he hits up Walmart for cleaning supplies. At 5:22 p.m., he buys a 40-pack of extra-strength black trash bags, likely intended for cleaning or disposing of evidence. Later that evening, he goes back to that dumpster near the babysitter's apartment, throws away 2 more bags, leaves, and then comes back to pick up his daughter around 7 p.m. July 31st, 1:30 a.m., surveillance shows Naresh in Falls Church, wearing white gloves, unloading trash bags from his Tesla and throwing them into a trash compactor. 1 bag appeared heavy. He does have an apartment that he rents out at this area, but those tenants later told police they didn't see him that night. Naresh leaves his phone at home, likely to conceal his location, adding to the suspicious behavior. But it doesn't stop there. He went to a different Walmart, this one in Chantilly, where CCTV shows him buying cleaning supplies. And according to the prosecutors, these were likely used to clean up a significant amount of blood. Now here's August 1st. Naresh's phone is off again, but he admits he went to a local cafe. Investigators got surveillance from a nearby gas station, and he's limping, carrying a bag with something inside, and uses a napkin or paper so he doesn't leave fingerprints. and he drops the bag into one of those donation bins you see all over town. Thankfully, law enforcement retrieves it, and inside, a bath mat with pinkish-brown stains that tested presumptive positive for blood. It doesn't end there. Naresh had tenants living in the basement, a Colombian couple. After the welfare check, he asked them to help him move the bed that had been covering that blood stain. The authorities still hadn't gotten DNA results at this point, but the Blue Star technology revealed pools of blood and blood spatter throughout the master bedroom and bathroom. When investigators shifted the bed, they found pink stains on the carpet. The testing showed drag marks leading from the carpet into the bathroom, where more blood was discovered. The shower and bathtub literally lit up with blood evidence. When they removed the tub for evidence, they found blood caked into the caulking. Just horrific. And about that Tesla he sold on August 19th. Turns out he disabled the tracking, a classic move if you're trying to hide something. There's also a domestic violence angle coming into focus. The Google searches alone are disturbing. Back in February, Naresh was searching things like uncontested divorce time, joint bank account, and what happens if spouse disappears in Virginia. Like, wow. All of this was during a bond hearing. The prosecution was laying out why this man should not be out on bail, and the judge agreed. Fast forward to December 2nd, 2024. And finally, Naresh is charged with first-degree murder and physically defiling a body. Police confirmed the blood matched Mamta, and Chief Lugo said this was the worst crime scene their department had ever seen. It turns out that DNA testing linked Mamta to blood found on a power saw, a mechanical saw designed to cut through very tough material. I don't even need to paint the picture for you. It's horrifying, beyond words. Supporters found relief, but also frustration. The trial wasn't happening right away. Instead, it was combined with the concealment charge. The trial date has been postponed multiple times. Now, according to Virginia case search records, a pre-trial date is set for September 10, 2026, with 3 jury trial dates scheduled for October 5th to 7th, 2026. Fast forward to January 14th, and here's a really beautiful moment amid all the darkness. The officers who worked countless hours on this case were honored by the Nepali community. Community members placed a topi, a traditional Nepali hat, on their heads as a symbol of honor, respect, and gratitude. Now, consider this. Investigators have executed more than 40 search warrants and conducted hundreds of hours of interviews, and yet they still haven't found Mamta. It's heartbreaking. I have to believe that one day they will. As for Naresh's family, reports indicate they haven't stepped up to help, which, given what's been alleged, maybe isn't shocking, and look innocent until proven guilty, right? But even without a conviction, it's hard to deny that Naresh is an abusive, manipulative, toxic person. Everything we've seen about how he treated Mamta before her disappearance paints a picture of a truly dangerous individual. This case is devastating on so many levels, especially for Mamta's daughter, who never got to spend her first year with her mom. Her family is doing their best, and the child is in excellent care, but the dreams Mamta had of raising her baby girl, stolen. Absolutely stolen. It's just unfathomable. And that's where we'll wrap up for today. This case is dark, it's heavy, and it leaves us with more questions than answers. But one thing is crystal clear. Mamta's story matters. She deserves justice, and her family deserves peace. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.